What's up, ladies? So today is actually Tuesday, and I'm making this video a little bit early because why? I don't know. Well, I had somewhere to go and I'm already somewhat dressed. I wouldn't say dressed, but I got on clothes, so I just wanted to go ahead. Ooh, this battery is probably going to die. I probably need to go ahead and plug it up while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I don't know where the other part of the charger, so let's make this video really quick, y'all, okay? Because I don't know where the other part is. Anyway, so really quick, yes, we had a failed IVF cycle. Yeah, us, a failed IVF cycle, y'all. The failed IVF cycle that we had, basically what happened with that one is that we put in one embryo, and the protocol was a little bit different. And basically they had me taking an extra dose of Menopur, where with my with the first two transfers, you know, I didn't have to take that last dose of Menopur, so I only had to take like 3. So it was 3 shots of Menopur that I took with 150 units of each. And with that particular failed IVF, I mean that failed I guess IVF cycle, I guess you want to call it. However, they had me taking 4, and I knew at that point that they missed my window. Like, I knew it. I was like, I think y'all missed my window. Something's just not right. They also had me taking a different amount of letrozole, and I was like, something is just not right. I gotta find that charger piece because my battery is going to die, y'all. Hold on one second. Okay, so I had to find a charger. So anyway, y'all, like I had mentioned, they gave me too much of the Menopur is what I think. And also they upped my letrozole, which the letrozole tablets is normally you take within the first 5 days, and then after that, that's when a little bit later you start taking the Menopur to kind of increase the follicle growth and get that lining, you know, to kick in and, you know, get thick. So anyway, they also had changed that up, and so I kept asking them, I was like, so why would y'all change up my protocol when it's never failed before? You know what I mean? So anyway, I was like, well, when they were actually giving me this protocol, I was calling, I was asking questions, I was like on that phone, like, what's going on, why is this, why is that, why am I doing this, you know? They were like, well, this is just what the doctor is saying and blah blah blah. Okay, that's still not giving me an answer. Why are y'all changing stuff? You know, the only thing I can honestly say that happened with that cycle is that my follicles were growing faster than my lining was thickening. That's the only thing I can say that maybe was a little bit different. However, everything else to me was pretty much the same. So anyway, as the Menopur shot, the last one was taken, I felt kind of like I was ovulating and that it was already done. Like I said, like they missed the window. At the transfer day, on the transfer day, that part went smoother than the first 2 times as far as the IV and stuff like that, because as I told y'all before, the one nurse I said would never would never ever do my IV, is not going to do it again. She wasn't there this last failed transfer. So anyway, she was there, but she didn't do it. So there was somebody else that did it. It was perfect. Well, I was kind of like out of it, and my husband was like, you know, this go round, it's like he had a little bit more trouble getting into not getting into the uterus, but he was not as, I mean, he was pleased with the placement, but it just seemed like he had a little bit more difficulties getting in there, like a little bit more difficulties putting the little spectrum thingy, whatever you want to call it, in there, catheter thing in there with the embryo. So anyway, so time go by, you know, and I know my body, you know. I know that if I am pregnant, then I am going to cramp. I am going to bloat tremendously. I am going to have a slight constipation. I am going to have lots of back aches, lots of restless leg syndrome. With the girls and with the baby girl that had the chromosome abnormalities, with those two transfers, within a couple days, within either the second or third day, I remember that I did get twinges, I did get, you know, cramps, I did get the restless leg syndrome. With the first transfer, because that was my first time actually having a full-blown pregnancy going, I didn't know the things that I was experiencing. So with the second pregnancy, it was more aware, because I wrote down everything within the first pregnancy. I wrote down what I was feeling, and I went back to it. I was like, I was dealing with that, I was dealing with this, I was dealing with that. So I knew ahead of time that at that time when I was pregnant with, which we call her little angel, the third baby girl. So when I was pregnant with little angel, I knew that I was pregnant by the second day. Like, I had those symptoms like clockwork. I was like, yep, it took. By the first or second, by the second week, I already had known. I was like, nope, I know I am. You know, everything started kicking in and stuff, so I knew. With this failed IVF cycle that I had, there was nothing. Like, there was symptoms, but I felt like those were symptoms based off the medication, evidently, because it wasn't consistent. And it was almost kind of weird, because I didn't have symptoms on the crenone and the estrace. Like, I didn't have symptoms off of that with the first two pregnancies. So I was like, okay, third transfer is kind of weird. Like, okay, what is really going on? You know, why am I, you know, what, fourth, fifth day, I'm having, you know, I had heartburn one night. I had I felt nauseous for like 2 days. Never had any backache. I knew it, and I was like, I had a little throbbing, but I didn't have I had a little throb, but I didn't have so I didn't have any, you know, dullness of the back. I did have a little bit of bothersome on my leg, my upper leg, you know, probably lower back area, but it wasn't to the fact of knowing that implantation had happened or was happening. For a minute, I was craving salty stuff, which around the time you are about to get your period, you do the same thing. So now I did cramp a little bit more than normal, so I kind of was like, okay, I'm cramping a little bit, maybe not. And I was cramping. However, the very first time I got pregnant, I cramped horribly, so bad that I had to use a heating pad on my thighs just to help with that area, you know. The second time I cramped, but it wasn't that bad, because I feel like my body kind of was prepping for pregnancy with the first pregnancy. The second one, it was like, okay, we know what to do type deal, you know, and stuff. And so everything was just very different. And so I did do the trigger out and everything. I started with day, because, you know, with my cycles, I always have to do the booster shots, which if you look online, it's called booster shots. There's very few people that talk about it. You won't find many people. It's probably me and 2 other people, but it's the booster shot. And The booster shot, basically you take it the day after you transfer, and then you take it 5 days later. Okay, and you're basically taking like 2,500 units. It's, you know, it's not a lot. However, it does stay in your system forever. And this was the first time with that failed cycle that I was like, wow, it stays in your system for a long time. After the last shot that was taken with that transfer, it was like probably, let me see, like almost 7 days after that last shot, I think it was still showing a faint positive. And I started getting discouraged because I was like, okay, it's going from dark to light to light to light to light. With the girls, it was actually by 10 days past transfer, it was like as dark as my hair type deal. It was like, it hit the 9th day, it was faint. The 10th day, it was dark, and it was dark after all. It was dark, like darker than the actual other line, the control line or whatever. So when I started seeing it get lighter and lighter, you know, everybody was like, no, you know, any faint is a, and I was like, no, that's the ACG. I know my body. I don't feel pregnant. My gut, it's just like my gut was telling me about Little Angel. With Little Angel, it was the same thing. I kept telling everybody, something's not right. She, you know, which I didn't know it was a girl at the time, but she's not progressing. That no, something's just not right. You can't sit here and tell me that things are gonna get better, and you know, oh, the baby's gonna make it, and this and that. You know, that motherly instinct is instilled in us even before you get pregnant, because I knew that something was wrong with Little Angel. I knew something was wrong. I knew. Everybody was like, no, you cry. I'm like, no. So with this one here, I was telling my husband, I was telling my mom. Those are the only 2 people that knew. Nobody else knew. And that's how I plan on keeping everything else. However, my mom, she was like, did you take a test yet? And I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna go buy some tests, blah, blah, and I'll test it out or whatever. So I had tested it out. And like I said, I was showing this and that. Well, by the, let me see, that was 10th, 11th, 12th. By the 12th date, I think by the 12th date after transfer, 12 days past 5-day transfer, my period came. I stopped all medication. It's like, no, still take. I'm like, I'm not inserting some cronone in my cookie. I'm not doing it because that's disgusting. While there's stuff coming out, I'm not about to put something in. Second of all, I know my body. There is no chance with all of this blood that I am pregnant. And it was like extra juicy. It was like extra juicy because you know, they make your everything fluffy with that HCG and everything. Is just keep, you know, making your uterus thicker and thicker. I mean, your lining thicker and thicker, so all that had to shed, you know, so you get the clots and all the gooey fun stuff, you know. So anyway, I knew at that time, which the day before and the day, I had my moments like the days when I seen it was getting light. I had my moments, you know, I was upset a little bit, and I was just like, okay, so now what? You know, so now what? But anyway, yes, so we did have a failed cycle. So that was our first failed cycle. No, I'm not getting into what's the present, what's right now. Are we pregnant right now? What's to come? I am talking about what happened, you know, in the past type deal. So like I said, there's a lot of things that I am going to be speaking about as they come. As they've gone. Okay, so I understand that this may not be current news as of today. However, we did, you know, I'll be more specific with dates later on. However, that's what happened with that cycle. So we did. So we've had a successful IVF cycle with the girls, with London and Lindsay, number 1, that resulted in a loss of both due to cervical incompetence. After the loss of my daughters, I had my my abdominal cerclage. I had my TAC. Okay. After that, we did another IVF cycle, which resulted in our third baby girl, which we call Little Angel. That was Little Angel. Okay. And that was due to abnormal chromosomes, you know, triple type chromosomes. Okay. So that's, where am I going? Oh, there was a tack. I was like, so that was a tack. So twins, tack, singleton baby girl, and then the failed one that didn't even attach. Okay. So now that y'all know that information, there has been a change in there's been a change in the doctor's reaction, the doctor's perspective, the doctor's assumption, the doctor's just the whole you know, assumptions that the doctor gives of the assertiveness that they have and so forth, when you may want one thing and they may say another, they want another. So that's going to be for another video. So that's to be continued. So stay tuned. I am going to be informing y'all about some stuff that happened up until almost now, and stuff like that. So excuse me. So anyway, yes, so I did want to let y'all know about that, and give y'all that information. So yes, we had a failed cycle. How do I feel about it? You want to know how I feel about it, y'all? I'm just blessed that we were able to pay for unlimited, you know, unlimited IVF. So, and I'm blessed that we have so many embryos that are available, or whatnot. So when we did that failed one, after that, because we had what, 13, so that made 12 left. So we had 12, so 12 remaining after that failed one. So there's some exciting things that's going to be taking place. There's some exciting news that I have for y'all. I mean, there's just a lot of things to talk about that I wish I could talk about now. It's just, I don't like, and it's like this go around here, as you can see, you know, if I would have informed y'all about that transfer, it would have been a disappointment, not only to me to have to announce to y'all and everyone else. It would have been more painful for me to have to go back and announce, well, nope, again, type deal, you know. So I'm so happy that we did not announce it, and that was the best part. I think that was the best part. You know how you have to see something good in every bad? That was the good. The good was we did a transfer, nobody knew about it, it didn't take, we didn't have to talk about it. So bam, that's how we plan on doing it with everyone moving forward. And everything moving forward, and stuff. And so, you know, we have, you know, lots of things to talk about. We have a lot of information to give out. Not, I wouldn't say helpful information right now, because I pretty much have put out all the information possible. However, just in general, things that we've experienced, things that we've gone through and stuff like that, leading up to the transfers, the months, the pregnancy itself, the whoop-de-doo, you know. It's kind of hard talking in code. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Again, thank you so much for, you know, being there with me, encouraging, following our videos, sharing our videos. I really appreciate it. And as you can see, I didn't miss a beat. You know, I didn't let that hold me down, and so forth. So you just never knew, doing all my videos, I don't think there's not one video that you can see that, oh, she must have had a failed cycle that time. You know, that video must have been a failed cycle. So, you know, I've been kind of, you know, I guess, you know, in a good mood. So anyway, guys, that's it. So I wanted to let y'all know, you know, yes, the Smiths, we had a failed cycle. We had a failed cycle. We did have one. And so now, let's just say that now the ball is in our court. So stay tuned to the next video. Bye, guys. Smells so good. So I'm gonna put some foil over it to keep the chicken moist. So I'm gonna put some foil, and then when I get back from getting LeBron, I'll put it in the oven for probably about maybe 30 minutes.